What's up, everybody? PG Run here, president of Blackstone Labs, standing here with Steph Sequeira, aka the Ab Chick. You guys have been following along with her progress as she gets closer to the stage, and we are inside of 2 weeks out now. And the training is a lot different when you get closer. You're not going to be as strong, nor should you be really focused on strength. At this point, especially for bikini, you want to be focused on burning calories and just basically getting that last little bit of fat out. So today is a shoulder day, and we're gonna do some of my infamous giant sets for shoulders. When you're this close to a show, you're doing a lot of cardio and your workouts shouldn't be that long. So this workout, you guys will see, is probably not even gonna be more than 30 minutes long, but it's gonna be fast, a lot of reps, a lot of calorie burning, and get it over with fast. You don't wanna be training for too long when you're that close to a show. Cortisol levels are all over the place. You do more damage than good. So as you can see, she's super lean, and you'll see when we're out there training, all the muscle fibers firing and everything. But it'll be pretty basic. We're gonna fly through our giant sets first, and then we're gonna do some good old-fashioned dumbbell presses at the end, and that's it. When you put your giant sets together, guys, there's really no rules as to what exercises you can and can't do, but the way that I like to do it for shoulders is we basically do 2 exercises for the rear delts and 2 exercises for the medial delts, and I usually throw some sort of either anterior delt raise, or I will put in some sort of press. You're not going to see me doing a lot of upright rows and things like that. I don't really feel that they're important for a physique, and I actually think they do a lot more harm than good. You also won't see us doing shrugs. I think that if you deadlift or you train your back hard, you'll get plenty of trap focus. Also, for a bikini competitor, I don't think they want you guys having hulking traps anyway. So it's all about making these delts as capped out and round as possible, and that's what we're gonna do. No matter how big or strong or small you are, you can definitely try this workout at home. And we're here at Pure Life, of course. Thank you to Bethany, if she's watching, for letting us shoot here all the time, and we're gonna get into it.
Let's do this.
We're gonna start out with a reverse pec deck. We're shooting for 15 to 20 reps. We're gonna progress up as we go up, so we're gonna start out with a reverse pec deck first. So that's 1, and then 2. We're gonna do a reverse rear delt flies. 3. Grab these dumbbells. Pinkies out. You're gonna do lateral like this. Then when you fail, you're gonna turn them in and do a normal dumbbell lateral raise, which will be far easier. And then you're gonna grab this light easy curl bar, stand here, and you're gonna do military presses, okay?
So 15 of everything, pretty much.
For the most part, yeah. First set will be the conservative set, and based on how you're doing, we're gonna progress up as we go through it, where the last one will be the hardest one, where you're probably struggling to get 15. But for you guys at home, when you're doing giant sets, you don't want to blow your load, as they say, on the first time through, because you're not gonna be as warmed up. So I usually use the first rotation as a little bit of a warm up and base the weights that you're gonna use from that. So start out conservative the first time through. So what you guys will notice here is when you're doing the reverse pec deck, she's stopping right here when her arms are completely even. That's what you want. You don't want to extend back any farther, because then all you're really doing is squeezing your traps and all the muscles back here. So another thing that I'm gonna have you do, just to perfect your form a little bit, is you're gonna actually let your shoulders come forward a little bit more. And you're gonna wanna try to rotate your entire shoulder back. So what you're doing, that it's not necessarily wrong, is your back is really fixed in position here.
Right.
And so that's actually incorrect when you're doing this exercise.
Okay.
So what you wanna do is, if you wanna relax for a second, we'll just do this instruction first, is, so your arm, as it comes back, you want your arm to be extended forward like this. You actually want to use the posterior delt to pull it to here. So you see where your back is actually open right now?
Yeah.
That's actually how you engage the posterior delt the right way. When you're locked in place like this, which is what many trainers and bodybuilding people will teach you to keep your scapula lax, you're actually disengaging this back here. So you want to have full traction and mobility through the scapula. And this is something that unfortunately we're taught over the years the incorrect way to do for proper shoulder mobility. So it may feel a little bit weird at first. So if you look at me for a second, guys. So when she started, you notice that she was fixed like this. So you're actually disengaging the posterior delt when you do that. So what you want to do is relax all that back, let your arms be completely extended like this, and you're coming out, 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 out. Almost imagine if I was trying to pull your shoulder out of the socket.
Okay.
Is where the proper form of this is, where you're going to engage the posterior delt the right way. There you go. Better. Now you can actually see, especially with the light on this side, how much more this muscle is firing now because it's engaged far more. You can see this muscle right here is clearly defined and it's firing. So shoulder exercises, they may seem easy, but they're really tricky to completely figure out the right way. I've learned this more with all my shoulder injuries over the years and the time that I've spent with specialists like a gentleman named Eric Cressy, who I just spent some time with, who you guys will see more of. We're unfortunately taught a lot of exercises. The science people will get mad at me for saying this, but we're taught ways to execute exercises that are really not beneficial to the shoulder joint. There you go. Good, now you can see this is clearly separated and defined here. You getting tired?
It's not that heavy,
okay. So we're gonna keep focusing on this. See, now what you can also see is when she loses a little bit of focus on it, the muscle stops firing and the back starts taking over, and you can actually see when she does that and it stops. So what we wanna do is keep the focus right here. This is why this exercise has to be done so light. So now we're gonna stop, we're gonna pop right over here. Try to pull out more like this instead of squeezing your back so much. Concentrate right here, pull this back hard. Good. You can do these a little bit faster. There you go. Concentrate here. Good. Good. Follow here. Good. 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 Let's do 2 more. Now as you get tired, if your arms start bending too much, that's when you know to stop because your triceps are going to be engaging too much. We're going to stop, we're going to pop over, and we're going to do these dumbbell laterals. So again, these we're starting pinkies out like this. This is actually going to engage the posterior delt a lot. You'll notice that I'm focusing a lot posterior delt. I've never met anyone that had too much roundness in the back of their shoulders. So we're going to come straight out. Good. 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 So this is sort of mimicking an upright row if you think about it, guys. We're just coming farther out and we're trying to focus back here as much as we can. Good. 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 Give me 1 more, and then you're gonna let your hands go to your sides, and we're gonna come straight out as far as we can with a normal dumbbell side lateral raise. Good. 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 So you see how much trickier this is to do, guys, after you've already done a bunch of stuff. Good. Good. We're gonna do 4 more. Good form. 3 more. You can see our delts are starting to really separate. Let's do 2 more. Now listen, when you get tired like that, your traps are gonna engage. Good. We're gonna grab this dumbbell now, or excuse me, this barbell. This should be a very light barbell for you. And keep the core tight.
And then just upright.
We're gonna clean it up here.
Oh.
And we're gonna, when you're gonna do an overhead press, you're gonna come down to right about your chin level, and then just press right back up again. So right there, and then back up. Good. Good. One reason why I like to do these standing militaries, especially with my bikini competitors close to the show, is on the negative, you get a very unique stimulation of the back as well. Good. Good. Keep going. We're gonna do 2 more. 1 more. Good, now rest. So that was the first set of our rotation. So what I typically have people do is anywhere from 4 to 6 total rotations. 6 is a lot if you're farther out in your prep, or if you're eating a lot of calories. I think 6 is the most that you wanted to do. If you're super, super tired and depleted, I think 4 is probably a sweet spot for you. This one, we went over a little bit of form perfecting and execution. So this next set will be less of me talking and her just going through it. When you're doing giant sets, you should probably take about 90 seconds to 2 minutes in between your sets. Let your heart rate come back down a little bit and go again. Now, one of the added benefits to giant sets is, in a way, it's a form of HIIT training, because you're doing so much, your heart rate's gonna get up, and then you're gonna let it come back down again, run through it again. Plus, your time under tension for the muscles is so long that your body's gonna start releasing growth hormone also. So I'm gonna go back onto this reverse pec deck again and show you guys something. So what you wanna do is exaggerate where your arm positioning is on here. And if I seem to be putting a lot of extra time into this today, it's because I have such chronically bad shoulder injuries that I am now obsessed with making sure that other people don't do the things that I did. And I've spent time, so I spent a day with a gentleman, Eric Cressy, who basically works on Major League Baseball players, all sorts of different athletes. He's also a power lifter. And I learned a lot of fundamentals about shoulder training that are kind of against all the stuff that we've been taught over the years. So what you want to do to engage this posterior delt the right way is, normally we want to squeeze back here like this. So what you're doing now is you're actually engaging the rhomboids, teres minor, your traps, and you're actually, unfortunately, disengaging the posterior delt. So what you want to do is let this shoulder come all the way out like this and come out here, concentrating just on the posterior delt. Now, when we start here like this, right now I'm squeezing my erectors, I'm squeezing all my back muscles, my back's doing way more of the work. Yes, the posterior delt is still engaging, but you're not getting the stimulation the right way. So this is why I would rather you guys go lighter and figure out these exercises the right way. I've seen people go on this pec deck, load it up with weight, and just keep going like this, right? And they're squeezing with their traps and back, but not even really engaging the posterior delt. So if you're on this pec deck and you're doing that much weight, you better have the biggest posterior delts than anybody's ever seen. You probably don't. Now you can look at me, I have no fire at all in my posterior delts anymore, but I am still trying to stimulate everything the right way through, you know, basically retraining these muscles with proper form. So it actually helps if you lean into it a little bit like this. And again, imagine if somebody was grabbing your arm and kind of pulling it out of socket. That's where you want to go with the form in this. So we're going to actually keep it light because I want her to go and engage this exactly how I want. You know, concentrate right here on this muscle, pulling everything down. Good. So you can see this is a dramatically different looking exercise now. Before, she was real tense in here. You saw the muscle tone and definition coming out in here because she was squeezing through her traps, which she's lean enough that you're going to see it anyway. But what we really want to see is this muscle firing as much as possible. So we're going to keep this contracting back. Good, very good form. You can see the separation that she has through here. This is what we want. Good. Good. We're just really concentrating on getting these posterior delts to work, thinking about it hard so it keeps on firing. Good. So you're firing this one very consistently, which is a good thing. Good. Let's do a few more. And this is not supposed to be heavy, guys. This is a concentrated exercise. This is an isolation exercise where we want to get as much blood into this little tiny muscle right here, this posterior delt. One more good one like that. Concentrate. Good. Now we're going to come over and do these reverse flies. Now this one, you're going to get a little bit of back engaged no matter what, but it's the same premise of having your arms come all the way forward and then pulling more out than back. Good. 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 4, 3, 2, one more. Good. Dumbbells now. Remember, keep these up. We're coming straight out with it. Good. 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 Give me 2 more like that, and then do the normal laterals. 1 more. Good. Now you're going to come right here from your sides, straight out. Good. 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 Medial delt, guys. This is what's going to give you the width. Good. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2 more, 1 more. Good. So when you do these presses on this one, this time, hold it a little bit wider, so you're all the way out here. Not on the bent parts, you feel a little awkward like that. Good. Keeping the core engaged. Good. 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 Maybe 2 more. 1 more. Good job. Good. Very good. So the reverse pec deck, it's my favorite exercise for posterior delts, especially if you've got a healthy shoulder joint. The reason that I like it the most is it's the easiest to figure out the right way when you're really paying attention. So with a bent over dumbbell lateral raise, excellent exercise. There's a lot of margin for error with a bent over dumbbell lateral raise. I see people will go all over the place with their arms, and so you're going to be engaging a lot of different muscles. With the reverse fly, you're going to be getting a lot of back involved as well. So the posterior delt is such a tricky exercise, excuse me, a tricky muscle to engage the right way. This is a way where you can get it to fire as much as possible without engaging all these other muscles. So if we're just training to be strong or to work out, then it's fine to get other muscles involved. But when we're looking at the body as basically a piece of clay that we want to mold a perfect way, you have to get some of these isolation exercises perfectly mastered so you can get all these little muscles to develop the right way. And that's how you put these things together when you're getting ready for a show and perfecting the physique. Some of the trolls will say that I'm talking too much in this video, but I really want you guys to learn how to do some of these exercises more precisely. And there you go. Good. Concentrate real hard right here. Good. Good. You see that posterior delt's firing nice and hard there. That's what we want. Good. Concentrate real hard right there. Good. Good. Right there. Good. Let's do 2 more really, really strict ones. 1 more. Concentrate. Good. Now we're going to come into these reverse flies. There we go. Good. Good. Now you can see her delts are really firing now. Good. 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 Come on. Keep going. We're going to do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Good. For the dumbbells. Good. 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 Right there. Good. 1 more than your regular laterals. Good. Normal lateral raises now. Come on. Right out. Good. 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 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Come on. Good. 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 Come on. Good. 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 Come on. We got 5 more. Come on. 4. 3. 2 more. 1 more. Nice job. Very good reps. So we're getting better at these now. You guys are not going to be watching as closely as I am, but I can see where she disengages her posterior delt versus where she engages it, because you can actually see, depending on which side that you're looking at, that the muscle will just, the separation will go away. And that's when the back is taking over and pulling it in. So please take take the time, guys. I know it seems like a very boring exercise. Having a very well-developed posterior delt will make you look so much better. It gives you all this roundness that you will see through the back. This is what, when you guys are like wrecking my physique now, which trust me, I think it looks terrible too now because of all the injuries, my anterior delts still fire like crazy. And that's what's responsible for all your pressing exercises, lifting your arm up. And my medial delts, although they've deteriorated a lot, I can still get them to engage. It's the whole lack of the posterior portion of this muscle that I can still do these exercises. So how could the muscle not be developed? Is because I oftentimes was just pulling with my back muscles and not engaging it. So now I'm trying to retrain myself. And any of you guys that are healthy, I'd rather have you learn it the right way first before you get into those issues the way that I have. So we're gonna go through it again. I find it to be a little more comfortable to sit back farther because it's easier to extend your arms forward more that way. Because that's what we want. We want to have this lack of flexion through here, because once we flex all this up and our back is engaged, we're not going to engage the posterior delt the same way.
Okay.
Good. Good. Concentrate. This muscle right there. Good. You see the separation coming out here? Is what we want. Engaging just this muscle, guys. Good. Concentrate. Good. 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 Keep going. Good. Good. Keep going. I want two more. This is going to be the final time I take her through these, so I'm going to push her sets a little deeper. Good. Come over here. Now again, we're pushing hard, but we don't want to push the point of having shitty form. Here we go. Focusing right here. Good. Right here. Concentrate. There you go. Good. Good. Come on. Keep going. Come on. Keep going. Do one more. Good. To the laterals. Good. 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 Two more. One more. Normal laterals now. Come out as far as you can. Good. 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 Come on. Good. Keep going. Try to keep those arms straighter. There you go. Come on. Out far. Keep going. We got three more. Two more. Straight. One more. Just like that. One more like that. Good. To the presses. Very good form. So you don't want to keep going until your form gets shitty, guys. Good. Come on. Good. 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 Come on. Good. Halfway done. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Good. Awesome. Very good. So, we've done a lot in a short amount of time with all these giant sets. Now we're gonna finish with the bread and butter portion of the workout to go in and try to put your body through a normal, very long workout when, for starters, the joints and everything are so dried out at that point that your risk of injury is far, far greater. You're very fatigued. So because of that, your risk of injury is far greater. Your calories and energy are very low on top of that, so your risk of energy your risk of injury is far greater. So what you want to do is you want to maximize, when you're inside of a couple weeks out, you want to maximize the little bit of energy that you have on just getting as much blood into the area as possible at a fast pace, so you're burning calories as well. You're not going to lose muscle. That's what all the nutrition and everything else is for. When you're going into the gym now, you're just trying to keep stimulating it and keep squeezing these fibers out and keep burning those calories. That's what we're doing now. So we're gonna finish off with, we are going to do a dumbbell press, a normal seated dumbbell press, and I never have my clients ever bench on a normal, completely upright shoulder press. This is very, very easy to overly externally rotate the shoulder and hurt yourself. So you want to be on a slight incline like this at all times. That way you can actually keep the weight in front of you, and the risk of external rotation is far, far less. Also, most of you guys, when you do these exercises, you arch your back anyway, which is not necessarily wrong. You're gonna lock yourself in position more. It's easier to get your scapula into the proper position here than it is over there. We're gonna be arched and all over the place. So this is the smarter way to do it. So she's pretty warmed up. So I'm gonna have her start at a little bit more of a conservative weight, but we're gonna be pushing for sets of 10, okay? So the first one is gonna be easy, and then from that, we're gonna progress our way up. And basically you want your last set to be where you can't get 10 anymore. If you do that right away, you're going far too heavy. And I'll have her do one little finishing exercise as well. I think that most of you, when you're training for shows, I know I was like this, you don't want to leave the gym on just like a set of 10. You'll feel better about yourself knowing that you really burnt yourself out at the end. So we're gonna get into that as well. So we're gonna start, like I said, we're gonna start a little conservative. That's 9, we're gonna do one more. Perfect. All right, so that was not very challenging, so we're gonna push it up. Like I said, we're starting conservative. When you're completely fresh, how much weight do you use on a dumbbell shoulder press?
It depends if I have a spot or not. Like I'm usually like surprisingly very weak when it comes to like shoulder presses with the dumbbells, but like I try to push like 30 pounds or so.
Yeah, that's about what I was figuring. All right, so again, we're going for sets of 10 on these. And guys, you don't need more than a minute rest, especially when you're in contest prep. Here we go. Good. 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 Very good form. Good. 2 more. 1 more. Good. I think we got 30s, no problem.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I don't know what it is about like this state where I'm at right now, where like anything standing up like feels a lot harder. Like I just lose my breath quicker, and then like anything sitting down, like I feel much better in doing.
You're probably just super focused on just performing that execution of that exercise when you're sitting down, you know?
Yeah.
When you're standing up, there's a lot of core engagement and other things that are going on. Your equilibrium has to come into play a lot more. Plus, at the pace that you're moving, you're probably losing oxygen.
Yeah.
And again, when you're this close to a show, you're not trying to break records in the gym. You're trying to just stimulate the muscle as much as possible, but get a good fast burn. So we started pretty late. We started, actually it has not been 30 minutes yet. And I slowed us down with all of the talk in the beginning. So we're gonna get into this now. Sorry. Come on. Good. 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 Come on. You got 2 more. Come on. 1 more. Nice job. Good. Awesome. So what we're gonna do on this last one is I'm gonna give her just a little bit longer rest. We're gonna go to 35s, and I'm gonna actually help her get the first one up a lot. So if you have a good spotter that knows what they're doing with you, once you're in full extension over your head, it's very easy to get yourself in the right spot. It's like when you see these like skinny little ice skater guys hold the girls over their head, it's very easy once you're up into position. Having to like literally curl them up and press them a lot harder. So I'm gonna help her with momentum, get it up in position, and then she's gonna perform the reps on her own. When you're spotting somebody on any kind of pressing exercise, I see this in the gym all the time and it makes me like so scared. Don't let the person get stuck in the middle of the rep. That's how you blow things out. Especially the one I see it the most on is bench press. I'll see guys like screaming and kicking their feet around. Their spotters like, it's all you, it's all you. Don't do that. And if the person gets mad at you for touching it, tell them that they can be very, very, very happy that you prevented them from blowing out a muscle. So what I'm gonna do with the spot is I'm not gonna be doing it for her. I'm just gonna be making sure that she doesn't get stuck at any point during that rep. As soon as she gets stuck, I'm gonna get her through that point. Now, if you're at a position where you're doing it all for the person, then tell them to stop. We're gonna do this heavy set. So this is our fourth working set here. And then she's gonna put that down and we're going to go back to our original weight, which was 20 pounds, and we're gonna bust out a few more reps. And this is obviously called a drop set. At this point in the workout, she is on a little bit higher carbs today than normal, but you're not gonna have the energy to grind through these reps the way that you normally would. So you just wanna go until the muscle fails. As soon as the muscle fails, in my opinion, you shouldn't be trying to push past that point. So that's what we're gonna do now. So I'm gonna help her get this first one up. Also, guys, when you're kicking the dumbbells up, use your knees, use the momentum to get them into position. Good, good, right up. There we go. Good. Good, come on. Last set. Grind them out, come on. Very good, I'm not even helping her. Push, 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 push. Give me another one. Right up. Give me another one, come on. Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it. Give me one more. Come on, come on. I got you on this one. Push, 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 push. Good, take it down. Good. Now I want you to grab those 20s. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Good. 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 Come on. Come on. Last set of the day. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Last set of the day. Come on. Drive, 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 drive. Give me another one. Come on. Right up. Push, 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 and bring it down. Good. So when you're spotting someone, guys, pay very attention to when the shoulder muscle fails, when you're truly failing, what's gonna happen is it's gonna either come in or it's gonna come out. Watch very close and pay attention so you don't let somebody wreck their rotator cuff or blow out their shoulder. So when she started to fail at the end, her shoulder started to come in. I made sure to keep it going because what's gonna happen is you'll get a very awkward internal rotation. You can blow your shoulder out that way. What typically happens is you fail the back, but this is also why I put you in this position. When you're in this position, when she was failing, she was coming forward, which is a lot safer. You can just get rid of the dumbbell than having it rip back. So moral of the story is don't try to go that hard without somebody there to guide you through it. And that is plenty for inside of 2 weeks out from a show. I know she probably didn't make it look all that hard, but I'll tell you, when you're on your own and doing this, it's going to be a little bit more challenging on the pressing exercises. You should be able to do all the laterals and whatnot on your own. I don't want to see you guys grinding out reps for the sake of pushing out. If you're doing your lateral raises and you start getting to a point where, yeah, you're busting them out, but you're just like jerking them around like this, you're not really stimulating that much of the muscle you want to stimulate anymore. Your traps are going to be engaged. You're going to be using a lot of momentum. It's not going to be the stuff that makes you grow. So those isolation moves, they're supposed to be done very strict. And a press is just a press. So to me, that was plenty. That was about a 30-minute workout. And wherever you put your cardio in, if you're doing it right after, boom, get right into it. You're in and out of the gym pretty fast, but you don't want to be talking and bullshitting around when you're this close to a show. You want to be moving through your workouts fast. The only day that'll take you long is the leg day, because there's obviously so much more to work with in your lower body. The shoulder, this is it. This is all you got. This one spot right here. It doesn't take an hour to fully stimulate that area. And how are you feeling inside of 2 weeks now?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really optimistic about the show, and I don't know, it's just so crazy because I'm used to doing like 2-hour workouts, and like I'm just so drained right now just from like being depleted. So like I'm like, okay, 30, like I don't know, like I felt like I hit everything that I needed to hit though. Like I feel like warm, I feel like I had the pump going on and everything else, but I'm feeling pretty good for the show and I'm excited.
You know, when you're putting it together for a show, in the off season you can train really hard for a long time and you have all this calorie to burn. But when you're doing more than an hour of cardio a day, or if you're doing multiple sessions of cardio, most people, when they're close to a show, they're doing 2 45-minute sessions, or they're doing 2 hours. If you're gonna put an hour into something, go on the cardio and burn as much as you can. When you're in the gym, hit it hard, fast, short rests, because what's gonna happen is when you start taking it too long, you just start releasing cortisol. And the more cortisol released, the more it throws off your physique, the more it increases your risk of injury. Most people are gonna start cranking cortisol out, especially when they're in a depleted state, at like 40, 45 minutes in. So if you can't get a good workout in before that, you're gonna wind up being counterproductive after that. And that's why I like to make these things fast, intense, quick. And like I said, the only one that'll be hard to get done fast is legs, because there's so much going on in your legs. But most women split their legs up into multiple days anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I made the wrong mistake the other day. Like what was it? Like 2 days ago, I did legs, and like I killed it. But like I really burnt myself out. Where cardio was just like walking was really difficult, and I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna get through this? So,
well, I said, that was the last hard leg workout I wanted to do.
No, absolutely.
Like I said, guys, when you're this close, it's all about just burning the rest of the calories. The muscle's there, the work's there. I mean, you can see she's got perfect muscle everywhere. It's just a matter of getting everything completely defined and separated now. If you're a bodybuilder, you know, obviously your body fat's gonna be lower than a bikini competitor's. You'll be able to see things differently. You can kind of look in the mirror and say, all right, well, I need more of this, I need more of that. Bikini, you just gotta be lean everywhere. You just gotta have the lowest body fat possible. You spend your off season and obviously the majority of your prep, you know, building the body, but it's impossible to build anything when you're this close to a show. You're just trying to get it to look perfect. And now I am going to let her take some extra photos with Mr. Ryan Loco, who is here today. And that's it. That's it for me. I mean, I'll give you guys a peace out bye, and whatever you guys want to do now, it's up to you. By the way, can we look at her abs real quick? Stand up and just show everybody that. People ask all the time, what do you do for your abs?
What do I do?
Yes, tell everyone.
I like look in the mirror, and then I just kind of flex for a little while, and then, just kidding. So I got them when I was 16. I used to train them like really heavy. I used to do the decline bench, put a 25, 45 pound plate, and then just like do the declines on that. And I feel like that's how I develop my abs, because I would do that every day. Like I think we did that for like a whole year. And then after that, like my abs were like very like defined and like just kind of like bulkier. And then now I don't do much to them. I just kind of like touch them up.
I like to always point out, because most of the people that we do in these videos will tell you guys that they don't really train their abs, because the abs are going to be, part of it is also genetic, but the abs are going to be, it's such a corny saying, but abs really are made in the kitchen. It's your nutrition and getting your body fat down. But there's one thing that I think that you should all practice, no matter what division that you are in, is practice your breathing techniques and your stomach techniques. Super, super important, because that's what's going to keep everything pulled in nice and tight. I used to practice them all the time. Now I catch myself in these videos slouching my belly out all the time, and it's because I've gotten lazy with it. But most competitors that practice that all the time, their stomach stays perfectly tight at all times, and that's how you want it to be. Yeah. Pretty impressive. All right, well, my work here is done. We have what, 9 days? 10 days? 9 days till Miami. This will be out right before then. You guys should come watch in Miami. It's going to be awesome.
June 8th.